Hi, and welcome back to another family engagement session. My name is Mara Grzanik, and I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator at Stevenson High School. I welcome you to this discussion. Today, we're going to have another family short about talking about the school year with your student and managing their expectations. So basically, our students have, over the past number of months, had different learning environments, right? COVID has changed things. And now we're all back to school, but our students have learned a lot about themselves as learners, right? They've learned to be attentive. They've learned how to track assignments. They've learned different strategies for being remote or being in person. So now we're back in the school year, and they're learning a lot about how to be in school. But a lot has changed and a lot is different. And so this is a really nice opportunity for you as a family member of a student to sit down and talk about what do they expect from school, because an expectations is really like a belief about something and the way it's going to happen. And so it's a really good opportunity for us to sit down with our students and have a conversation about what their expectations are or what they think might happen, because we don't want that to be sort of this predetermined, oh, that's what it's going to be, or it's not going to be good, or this is going to be great, or whatever, but that there are opportunities for discussions to help manage what might or might not happen, or fulfill a goal, or think about like a short-term goal. So what we want is to talk about what an expectation is or what they might be, because you would understand an expectation to be like, well, I guess this is what's going to happen at this time, right? So I'm going to have a barbecue on Labor Day because I guess it's going to be a nice day, or it's going to be sunny, or it's going to be a good weekend. But that's just really a guess and maybe a little bit of a hope. So we can think about that and the way our students think about the school year in terms of it's a guess and maybe a little bit of a hope about what they think. But you may be seeing some things around your student and what they are doing, right? So they may be frustrated or irritable, and you don't understand why, but that could be because of a change in the way they were learning previously to what's happening now. Maybe they thought when we all came back in the school year, at the beginning of any kind of school year, there's a lot of hopes and dreams and expectations around maybe what's going to happen in a class, or what's going to happen in a social situation, or what's going to happen in a like an event, like they have Street Fest and Wellness Fest coming up. So what we can do is we can help hear them. You may see them being frustrated or maybe feeling overwhelmed, because maybe students chose to do remote learning and now getting up and getting ready and getting out the door and either getting in a carpool or getting in the bus and getting to school and getting home from school, that may feel pretty overwhelming for our students right now because it's a change in what they've been doing. They may also, along with feeling overwhelmed, feel overloaded because there's a lot that they're taking in. We're all taking a lot in every day. There's more traffic on the streets. It's just a change in the pace from what we were in before. So you may be seeing a particularly more irritated high school student. You may see that they are feeling overloaded or overwhelmed or feeling like, wow, this is a lot for me. So what can you do as a family member if you see your student is showing some of that overwhelmed, overloaded, or frustration, irritability, short with you, spending a lot of time in their room? Well, we talk a lot about 20 minutes a day. Remember, we talked a lot about walking for 20 minutes a day when we were all learning remotely, but that time, that 20 minutes a day is really golden for you to find time to sit with your student and open up a conversation and just say, what happened at school today? Or what happened today? Tell me about your day. What was one thing that you really liked about your day? What was one thing that was frustrating? And remember, what's really, really good is for you to just be really open and not assume what they're thinking, because you may think, well, that might really be something that would upset them, but that they had resiliency for and they persevered through, but it may be something else that's frustrating them that you don't know. So most important for you to do, especially now as we're getting into the school year, is open the lines of communication and just take time to communicate with your student. Take time. Don't assume what they're thinking, but what you can do is you can talk about what did they expect out of the situation, and then how was it different than what they expected, right? And then celebrate the strategies they're using that are working for them. And those strategies may change throughout the year, but celebrate what they're doing that's working and sit back and listen and just take the time to communicate or listen to what your student is telling you. So what are some of the things that you can do? You can help your student take a moment to think about the school year, and maybe if they're goal oriented, make short-term goals. Not like I'm going to do this for the whole first semester, because things may change. Things may change in their world, expectations may change. But you can sit down and talk to them about what's going on. Remember, your job is to listen and remain calm. Your job is to reflect back to them. It's doable. We can figure a way out. And as we've talked about, you are going from being the manager of their life to the mentor in their life through these next 4 years. And so it's really important for you to model the kind of behavior that you would wish them to use. So that's a calm demeanor. Maybe sit down and if they're feeling super overwhelmed, sit back and make a schedule with them. Sit back and prioritize, like, how are we going to, what's a routine that works for you? Write down everything you're doing during the week. When are your practices, if you're involved in something like that, or what are your commitments outside of school? How much time do you have for homework? And make a routine for them so that they have that consistency that they can depend on. Encourage social connections with your student. I know that there's Street Fest coming up on Saturday. That's a really nice social connection for them. Reach out to people. If it's people that they were friends with using Zoom or virtual means, allow them to do that. Some kids find their social connections through online gaming or through an online platform. And that's fine. Just make sure that you know who they're talking to, and that it's safe and it's something that is aligning with your family values. Another thing is, you might want to really encourage your student, if you're seeing that they're really feeling overloaded or overwhelmed, is encourage them to practice some mindfulness. Take time to, deep breaths in, that square breathing, breathe in for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, breathe out for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4. That those mindful deep breaths are really good and actually have been shown to reduce stress. So if they're in the moment and they're really feeling like, sometimes scheduling helps them. Pay attention to how they're feeling and make sure they're getting enough sleep, eating well, so that they can establish really good routines. But most importantly in all of this is for you to take the time to listen and hear what they're saying. And a really good way to frame the conversation is, what were you expecting would happen? What happened? What do you think you did really well through that? And just reflect back to them and hear with an open mind and with a supportive mind. So how can Stevenson help you? You can always connect with your students' SST. That's the student support team. That's the counselor, the social worker, the psychologist, the dean. Those people are there for you. And if you are the parent of a freshman, you will meet them tomorrow night at open house. If you can't make open house tomorrow night, I encourage you to go next Wednesday. There is always academic support at Stevenson through our tutors. They are on the first floor of the ILC, and they also have a website. And there's also community support that you can engage with through the Stevenson student supports page. So let me show you on here where you can go. I don't think it's a link. On D125, go under student services and you can see the student support page. There's academic support under students and academics, and under the student support page, you will also find information on the outside supports. I want to thank you very much for joining me today. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about self-care strategies for your teen in honor of Wellness Week. Please remember that tomorrow night, Dr. Lisa Demore is also going to be talking to our community, and because we like to give you a lot of choices every night, it's also open house night. If you can't make open house night tomorrow, you can come next Wednesday, and Dr. Demore's talk will be recorded and available on your students' class page from Canvas. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this was helpful for you. Take care. Bye-bye.